just the facts, ma'am?
Sure. Well, first of all, as you know, we did a special edition of Saving America to talk about the presidential debate. Right now, because of Trump's COVID diagnosis, even though he's recovered, there's been some controversy about whether that will take place next week. I hope it will, because I think we need a better showing to allow the American people to really see who the real Joe Biden is, because the first debate with Chris Wallace covering for him really didn't show Biden at his typical weakest. But with regard to the VP debate, I thought it was pretty much what you see is what you get. Kamala Harris is a very smart lady. She is very accomplished, and I take nothing away from her in terms of I'm not going to engage in ad hominem attacks on Kamala Harris. At the same time, she has certainly lied about her background, which is hilarious to me, because she was a very successful district attorney and prosecuted many, many minority peoples when she was district attorney, and actually ran for the United States Senate. That was her claim to fame to get elected to the United States Senate, is that she was tough on criminals, and the majority of those criminals were actually minority members. So it's rather interesting that she comes out to say she's going to repurpose the police. Repurpose the police has become the left's rallying cry to defund the police, which of course is a backwards movement. I thought that Pence conducted himself well. I thought he had the facts, which is this segment is just the facts. And I thought Pence did an excellent job of presenting the facts. And Kamala Harris was at a significant disadvantage. And so, having been basically trounced in the debate, she has subsequently claimed that she was bullied by Pence because he's a white guy and she's an African-American female. And I did not see it that way. I thought that the moderator, who is not from a conservative source, did a pretty doggone good job, significantly better than Chris Wallace did on the presidential debate. I thought Chris Wallace's performance was deserving of one of my famous F grades, by the way. And so
it comes out quite frequently too.
That's right. We're working on that one. We'll get working on the next one. But I think that the people who watched the debate who were fair would say Pence had the facts. The facts is that the United States has experienced a significant economic recovery under Trump, that the amount of regulation has been reduced. About the only rallying cry left, and of course she tried to work this into the debate, is this whole totally pathetic nonsense about Obamacare, which we're being inundated with today as the Amy Coney Barrett hearings go on, is that Obamacare was a total fraud from the day one. Misnamed the Affordable Care Act, it actually increased the cost of health insurance for virtually all Americans, except the handful of Americans who didn't make enough money to qualify for health insurance. They got the booby prize in that they got given money to discount their insurance below what it should have cost. And yet many of those people, if they're actually that broke, could have purchased low-cost health insurance plans, but those were no longer available because Obamacare wiped them out. So that seemed to be her main rallying cry. And again, she would refuse to answer, as Joe Biden famously has, whether they would engage in a court packing mechanism in order to try and avoid the impact of a conservative court. But overall, I thought that Mike Pence gets good points for it. I know people have, in the conservative community, have talked about Mike Pence as a presidential candidate next time out. It's oftentimes seen the VPs do that. And of course, George H.W. Bush did that in 1998. But I'm sorry, in 1988. I want to make sure I get my years right there. But I don't consider Mike Pence has got the moxie and the personality to really do that. And in fact, I'm hoping that the Republican Party will field a conservative female candidate. So we'll see how that goes.
So again, let me remind you, with about 3 weeks left until the election, you have just a short time to do some research on how other presidents fared during a crisis, or how the economy went during their presidential time. So if you want to do a comparison, as we said a few minutes ago, David gives lots of F's and very few, and none in this case, A's. So take a look, see how other presidents did, what they did, and then make an educated decision on the vote coming up on November 3rd. So The Decline of America, this is David's publication that came out a couple of years ago, and this is discussing presidents from Woodrow Wilson to Barack Obama, and lots of information, valuable information. So it's available on Amazon either as an ebook or as a print book. So get your copy today and prepare for this upcoming election. So David, great job today as always. We look forward to hearing you again next week on Saving America. So thank you for joining us, whether you're listening live on Facebook or whether you're watching or listening on one of our podcast distribution platforms. We thank you. And if you have a question for Dr. Schein, please feel free to put it in the comments or send an email to David. What is your Claremont email address?
It's easy. It's dschein@claremontmanagementgroup.com, and they links through our website as well.
Right. And if you go to the Claremont Management Group, as he said, you can get to all the videos, all the information about David, all the information about his book. So go to ClaremontManagementGroup.com today to get more information and then be in touch with David. If you're looking for a speaker for your platform or your podcast, David is available. He is a great speaker, as you can tell when he answers or talks about the topics that he discusses. So feel free to reach out to him to come and speak to your group today. Thank you for joining us.